When buying a spreader, most beginners will go to their local big box store and pick up a plastic Scotch spreader. They're cheap, but it's a name brand, so what could possibly go wrong? Actually, a lot. Scotch spreaders are notorious for leaving large fertilizer stripes like you see in these photos. This happens in all types of these Scotch spreaders, and for some reason, the company refuses to fix the problem. Most of the time, the problem comes from the fertilizer falling into the hollow parts of these wheels. Then they build up and leave large fertilizer trails behind them. These hollow wheels are a lawn's worst nightmare, as you'll be able to see long, dark green stripes and even stripes of burn marks all the way through your lawn wherever you went with your spreader. Some people have also said the fertilizer won't hold in the hopper and instead fall straight to the ground, also causing striping. Whatever the case, definitely stay away from Scotch spreaders or any spreader with these hollow wheels. Instead, buy a spreader with full plastic or rubber wheels. They may cost a little more, but you're gonna end up buying one anyway after this Scotch model puts you through hell. If you have a very small yard, you can definitely get away with using a hand spreader instead of a push spreader, and then you'll be saving yourself money in the process. Edging your lawn means creating a boundary between your lawn and any other areas surrounding your lawn, like your driveway or sidewalk. Think of it as your lawn getting a haircut. Once you get a haircut, the barber will go in and outline your neckline to give it that neat, perfect appearance, and we should do the same thing with our lawn to give it that pristine look. This is typically done using a special edging tool which cuts a distinct line along the border of your lawn. These tools range in price from very expensive to moderately expensive. But the good news is that you don't need an expensive edger to get great results. Take this Black & Decker edger for example. You can pick this up for 88 bucks on Amazon and it will definitely get the job done for you. This is the edger I actually own and it makes great edges for me every time I use it. You can probably find it for much cheaper used on Facebook Marketplace also. If you've never edged before, I will warn you though, edging a very overgrown area can be extremely hard and frustrating the first time you do it. Expensive edgers are much better at cutting through very overgrown areas compared to this Black & Decker model. But if you have a cheap edger, I would recommend using a flat shovel or manual edger tool like this one to start the edge. Once you remove all that extra soil and grass, then use the automatic edger to go up and clean up behind you. If the edge looks beat up or not that great after the first time you edge, don't panic or quit. The more and more you edge, the straighter your edge will become and the easier it will be to do. Edging will become a super quick chore once you get good at it. I can edge my entire property in less than 10 minutes now that I do it regularly and it's not overgrown. And here's a bonus tip. Do not try to edge asphalt or tar driveways with an edger. Blacktop driveways are not installed with a hard edge, so getting a straight, good-looking edge is almost impossible. I would just tip a string trimmer upside down and edge it the best you can with that on the blacktop. Concrete edges will edge very well and look very clean though. I just want to give a big shout out to my boy Yardbruh for hooking me up with some B-roll for this video. I would definitely recommend going over there and subscribing to his channel. He posts multiple times a week and he has some great stuff. Thanks again, bruh. One of the biggest mistakes that beginners make with lawn care is how to properly seed their lawn. Most people want to seed their lawn right after the winter because it looks like crap. But to be completely honest with you, it is very tough to grow grass in the spring and have it survive all the way through the summer because of all the stress and all of the heat it's going to endure. When it comes to seeding, you're definitely going to want to wait for fall for cool season grasses if you can wait. If you live in the transition zone and have cool season grass, you're also going to want to do the same. It's not impossible to seed in the spring, it's just very difficult to do and have it survive. Also, when it comes to seeding your lawn, another huge mistake beginners tend to make is not keeping the seed moist all the way through germination. Most of the people that I see seed, put down seed, cover it up with black dirt, water it once and forget about it. For the seed to germinate, it needs to continue to be moist until it starts growing. Also, germination times vary a lot when it comes to cool season grass. If you're not a patient person, I would recommend seeding with perennial ryegrass or tall fescue because germination only takes 5 to 7 days, compared to 2 weeks with Kentucky bluegrass. And the last seeding tip I want to give you, is to buy high-end seed. When buying seed from a big box store, you have the chance to contaminate your lawn with noxious, unwanted weed seeds that could potentially be a huge problem for you going forward. When buying seed from a big box store, companies basically mix in all their garbage that's left over, throw it in a bag, and sell it to homeowners that really don't know better. Many people dread the task of mowing their lawn, considering it's a tedious chore that must be done frequently. But the truth is that mowing the lawn frequently is one of the most important steps you can do when it comes to having a beautiful strand of turf. Most homeowners wait for their grass to grow almost unbearably long before going out to mow. And then once they do mow, they mow it as low as possible so they don't have to mow again for a while. And they repeat this process over and over again all summer long. Now what they are doing each time they do this is scalping the grass. Scalping is cutting off a large amount of grass all the way down to the base of the plant. You can tell that you're scalping because you'll see areas of ugly yellow that were once green after mowing. This causes extreme stress on the grass and almost shocks it in a way. Over time, this causes the grass to use most of its energy reserves trying to regrow the green part of the plant, meaning it will use less energy on things like developing deep roots, fighting off heat stress, and fighting off disease. Mowing heights for beginners should be between 3 and 4 inches, and you should only be cutting off about an inch each time you mow. To do this, you should be mowing every 3 to 5 days. The more you mow, the better your grass is going to look. I promise. So instead of dreading the task, embrace it as a necessary step towards a healthy and thriving lawn. I've learned to love mowing because your grass absolutely needs it. When it comes to fertilizing for beginners, it can be very overwhelming walking into your local big box store and looking at all the different options. Where do you even begin? For me, the easiest recommendation I can give someone is to grab the Scott's 4-step fertilizer program. Yes, we just talked crap about Scott spreaders and now I'm recommending their fertilizer. But in my opinion, it's the easiest option for beginners. It's 4 different bags of fertilizers for each part of the growing season, which makes things very simple because it includes things like pre-emergence and weed killers for the springtime and slow-release fertilizer for the summer. It also tells you exactly how much to put down and exactly when to apply them. And they're actually good fertilizers, so you will see good results from them. If for some reason you can't find the Scott's 4-step program of fertilizers, I would recommend going with a slow-release option instead. Slow-release fertilizers are recommended for beginners because they release nutrients over a longer period of time, which ultimately reduces the risk of you burning your lawn and makes it easier to maintain a consistent fertilizing schedule. Slow-release fertilizers also tend to be more forgiving than fast-release fertilizers in terms of timing and application rates. With fast-release fertilizers, it's important to apply them at the right time and in the correct amount to avoid over-fertilizing and damaging your lawn. With slow-release fertilizers, they basically can be thrown down whenever, and it doesn't really matter how much you throw down, so you don't have to worry about burning the lawn from over-applying. I actually have a 6th bonus tip for beginners, but you're going to have to click on this video right here to see what it is. I'll see you guys over there.